Almost a continuation of our long overdue 70s science fiction series. Yeah.
That hasn't actually started yet because we've not done Zardos.
Oh, correct, yeah. Zardos is weighing in the deep folders of my computer. So, ages ago, we wanted to do a little series talking about 70s sci-fi cinema.
Yep. After a watch of the film Zardos, the John Boorman classic.
Yes. If you've not seen Zardos yet,
I
highly recommend it.
Yes.
But we're not talking about Zardos today. We're talking about Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yep.
This is my Arrow Blu-ray release.
Directed by Philip Kaufman.
That's correct.
From the right stuff, yep.
Stars Donald Sutherland, Brooke Adams.
Oh, the Brooke Adams.
Yes, Brooke Adams. Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, he's great.
Veronica Cartwright. And the now late great Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy.
Spookily.
Yeah.
I watched this the night before Leonard Nimoy died.
You watched it on Thursday?
Yes. How weird's that?
That's weird.
I was just saying how strange it is to see Leonard Nimoy playing someone who's not Spock.
Yeah.
He plays kind of like a creepy psychologist in this.
Yeah. Is he good in it?
Yeah, he's good, yeah. I feel like I can't criticise Leonard Nimoy at the moment, so... so no ballad Bilbo Baggins.
No.
Bilbo. So Invasion of Body Snatchers is a classic science fiction film from the 70s.
Yep.
It's all about this kind of weird alien spores that kind of like seep their way into the Earth's ecosystem.
Considered one of the best remakes ever and all, isn't
it?
Yes.
I've not seen the original, but...
no.
So it seeps into the Earth's atmosphere. And what it does is it basically makes copies of people and replaces them with better versions.
Okay.
So like it's like this weird plant life stuff, and it'll take a human, it'll make a copy of you, it'll retain all your memories, but it'll make it like a perfect version.
Oh, okay.
And it'll get dispense of the old.
So like me now.
So basically it's the film that the World's End is spoofing.
Yeah.
You know, like in World's End, it's all like, you know, all the towns are all replaced by these superior versions, but they're not really. So the film follows Donald Sutherland, and I think it's Brooke Adams. What's she called? Elizabeth Driscoll.
So no Enya.
No. Elizabeth Driscoll and Matthew Bennell, who's Donald Sutherland. They're like health officials, and basically they encounter this weird alien stuff and become like the only survivors.
Yeah.
And they have to survive as the whole world falls to shit, basically.
Yeah.
So the film itself is quite interesting, like thematically.
Yeah.
The fact that these aliens are replacing people and no one notices could be seen as being a bit of a comment on the blank facelessness of today's society.
Of consumerism.
Yeah, man. Loss of identity.
Yeah.
These aliens manage to kind of sneak their way in and no one takes notice, basically.
Yep.
And I think that's the extent to it goes. The special effects are really great. They're all obviously, it's late 70s. All practical, yeah. It's worth it to see like a half Jeff Goldblum, like plant alien monster thing.
Yes.
So
is it better than half Jeff Goldblum, half Fly?
I don't know. I've not seen the remake of Fly.
I've only seen the effects; they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So Elizabeth Driscoll starts to notice that there's something up with her husband. He's acting a bit weird, not himself. He's going out late at night, and she's a bit like, what's going on here? And Donald Sutherland's like, don't worry about it, I'll take it to my friend, the psychologist. And the psychologist is Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
Who writes like self-help books, and he tries to like self-help.
So he's playing the other Dr. Spock.
Yeah.
The psychologist.
The psychologist side of Dr. Spock, yeah.
No, I mean, have you never heard of the actual psychologist Dr. Spock?
No.
Oh right, there's a huge joke about the fact that there was a guy called Dr. Spock who wrote psychology books and childcare books, and people used to always joke that he was Leonard Nimoy, but he was actually just called Dr. Spock. They were huge books, like a big cultural. Oh, doesn't matter, doesn't it?
But when was this, like the 80s when I wasn't born?
Yes.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah, everyone knows about him. Commenters, tell him how long he is by not knowing who Dr. Spock is.
I bet no one's heard of this except for you.
I bet everyone's heard of Dr. Spock.
Grace, do you know who Dr. Spock is?
No.
Childcare books.
Childcare books.
Really?
Yeah.
See, good
bestsellers.
Grace of it, so you must be the only person.
That's right.
It's 2 against 1. So Dr. Spock is helping out Elizabeth Driscoll do a thing. But then basically she's like, my husband's been replaced. And Dr. Spock's like, no, you're just feeling sad, you're feeling upset. A series of events happen, we're on the run. There's weird, creepy special effects, and the whole world's getting replaced by these weird, inhuman copies of people.
Yeah.
So it's a really pretty good film. I quite enjoyed it. There's good suspense to it. Good sound, really good sound design.
Okay.
It uses lots of high pitched screams, and it's really memorable how the aliens identify non-copies because they do the high pitched scream that's really fun. It's quite unnerving.
Yeah.
It follows a pretty standard.
Is it a horror or a sci-fi film?
Sci-fi horror.
Okay, so it's not actually that scary.
Not really. No. I suppose you could find it quite scary, but it's not really. It's more fun just seeing all this kind of weird kind of practical effects working and how it all comes together. It's got a great ending.
Yeah.
In a twist ending, one by one the survivors get picked off. Jeff Goldblum, that's he plays like this writer type. He's like, I'm a writer and nobody buys my books.
Yeah.
He's so dramatic. And he hates Leonard Nimoy as well. He probably hates Leonard Nimoy. He's like, this guy writes these books in 6 months. It might take me a year to write one sentence. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So each one get picked off one by one. I mean, right at the end it's just Donald Sutherland and this girl who you presume is dead.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh hey Donald Sutherland, and he goes like, ah. He does a weird sound, and you're like, oh no. I'm not selling this film very well. It's a pretty good film.
Yeah.
It's transposing the action to the heart of San Francisco allows Kaufman to retain all the suspense of Jack Finney's original story while adding caustic social commentary about the selfishness of 1970s me generation that remains all too relevant today. I know how.
But I've heard really good things about this film.
It is a pretty good.
It's on Netflix, so I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. I quite enjoyed it. I don't know whether it's quite as a classic level, but it's borderline classic, a minor classic.
Is this in the phase when Donald Sutherland used to actually get roles?
Yeah.
He was massive in the 70s, but most people don't know. I think it's his son. His son.
His son, yeah. Kiefer.
Yes.
He's stolen the limelight thanks to Lost Boys.
Thanks to Lost Boys and 24.
Yeah. No, all Donald Sutherland now is just appearing in Hunger Games films.
Yes.
They just have to. He's in his pajamas, and they just wheel him out like, Donald, say these lines. Okay. He just looks really tired and bored.
Did you believe there was a time when he was a massive star? Because he was in MASH.
Yeah.
And Day of the Locusts and Don't Look Now, and he was huge.
Yeah.
He was like an icon.
And now look at him.
Strange, freakish looking man.
Yeah, he is quite unconventional.
He looks like a rake with a wig.
A rake with a wig?
Yeah, look at him, he's got really fake looking hair, he's skinny and tall.
Yeah. Oh dear. I kind of can't. Yeah.
Look at that, rake with a wig.
Rake with a wig. But I know, he's like an unconventional 70s star. It was like Dustin Hoffman was quite unconventional back in the 70s.
Yeah.
He was kind of like a weedy, kind of awkward guy, but he was a big star.
Yeah.
No, not a traditional Hollywood star. He was no John Wayne.
No.
Him, Dustin Hoffman and Donald Sutherland are definitely no John Wayne.
No. Well, it was the time of that kind of Al Pacino being Italian American and stuff.
Yeah.
Short and yeah.
So the whole nature of acting and all that was kind of changing.
Yeah. But enough about all that shit. What would you give Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
I would give Invasion of the Body Snatchers an 8 out of 10.
8.
I quite enjoyed it, even though I was nodding off towards the end.
Is it as good as Zardos?
No.
Is it?
Nothing's as good as Zardos.
No. Do you think it's because it doesn't seem to be a film that's had much of an impact?
Well, no one really talks about Invasion of the Body Snatchers anymore.
No.
It's generally remembered as being a very good sci-fi horror for its time.
Yeah.
I think it holds up as that. I think it does hold up. There's parts which I'll never forget. I feel like I've read the book.
Yeah.
I feel like I've read the book. But no, I enjoyed it. It was a good film. It was a good tense. But it was almost like a paranoid thriller.
Yeah. So it's like Parallax of You or something from the 70s.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You could even like government agencies like spying on everybody, and like anybody could be the enemy. Who could you trust anymore?
Well, there's some great ones like that in the 70s, like The Conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, I pre-ordered my copy of The Offence the other day, the Master of Cinema Blu-ray version. It's on pre-order, so
yes.
coming soon.
Would you recommend people watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's still a fun watch. The characters aren't the best. They're not exactly, 3D.
No.
But it's kind of fun just seeing Donald Sutherland just running around trying to stop plants. I read some really disturbing sequences.
Really?
Like the scene where Donald Sutherland's kind of following suit, because all it is they get you when you sleep. When you sleep, that's when the spores start to invade your body. And they try to copy Donald Sutherland, and since he's got the DNA of some of the other characters, it makes these kind of bizarre copies. And there was a really weird part where the Body Snatchers they steal the DNA of this hobo who's got a dog. And they merge the two together, so it's like a dog with a man's face.
Ew.
It's really weird, really disturbing, really good special effect. Obviously, because it was all practical back in those days. I would recommend it as a slice of 70s science fiction paranoid thriller.
Yeah.
It's quite an important film, so I'd recommend it. And I would recommend this Arrow version if you're in the UK. It's a really nice version of the film, great transfer.
Yeah.
Check it out. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 8 out of 10 film.
Cool. Join us for next time. It'll be Zardos or something else if we haven't finished getting that all edited and everything.
Ooh. Zardos. We'll have to rewatch Zardos.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
It's so full of dread and horror. And
do you think they'll release Zardos on the Master of Cinema Blu-ray series?
I hope so.
It'd be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, with a cool cover and.
Yeah, it'd just be the head.
Yeah, the head, but done pop art style.
Yes.
Oh, I should pitch this idea to them.
Yes. So, yep. Stay for Zardos.